Hi, amazing Biz Besties. We are at our next session, and I am so excited for you to meet my friend and a very experienced businesswoman, the beautiful Deb Fowler. She has many superpowers, and one of them is resilience in the face of things that she wasn't expecting in her life, and how to actually rise above that. And that's how I see you, Deb, as a little bit of a phoenix. With what she's shared with me. Deb, welcome. And I would love you to introduce yourself to our viewers and a little bit about your superpower.
Thanks, Nicole, for doing this beautiful event today. I think my superpower probably came from adversity. Some things happened and challenged me in my life, and I had a choice to either fall or build myself through that. So the journey took on many years, but it's now turned into a beautiful journey. And yeah, I guess that is the resilience that I've had over many years. But it doesn't come easy, I don't believe. I think you need to really take a lot of self-care. And it's something that I've needed to do over many years, because burnout and my adrenals has been something that I've had to really work with throughout my life. So my challenge was around 16 years ago. I had a serious accident, and from there my life changed sort of basically overnight. So it was, I'd been a basketball coach for many years, which I loved, and I also worked in the medical field. And the accident caused me not to be able to walk for about a year, and it was about rebuilding my body. And I'd been through because I'd worked in medical, I'd sort of stayed in that vein, but then realised after a period of time that I was feeling quite depressed, couldn't maintain my job, and also wasn't able to find the resources I needed through medical practitioners. So I ended up in the holistic field. And that was just a journey for the last 16 years of rebuilding my body, which is still will be ongoing, and also rebuilding my mind and finding the place where I sit comfortably today at the Summer House.
So you are a successful businesswoman, but you didn't jump into business to heal yourself like some people do. You actually have created lots of habits and boundaries over the 16 years to make yourself stronger or more resilient and courageous. So what is the first piece of advice or the first step that you took to know that you needed to start embracing the holistic and self-love into your life?
I guess for me, it was other people coming to me saying that they felt like I wasn't the person I was. I think when you're in the midst of not knowing what's going on with yourself or your body, it's actually other people coming to you. And that started to resonate with me. And I started to then look at what was going on with me and my relationships with people. And also my adrenals were really failing. So my gut health was really bad. And I didn't really want to keep on taking medication. I wanted to look for other ways of healing my body. And that's just probably been from my past, like my life with my grandparents and my mother bringing me up. We just always never looked for medication. It was always dealt with food or, healing in different ways. Yeah. So it took me back to my core, and that's where I started that journey of looking at other ways of healing myself and without medication. And that holistic journey has took me down the road of, just starting off with simple massage right through to gut health and learning a lot about gut health and how that affects the brain as well, and getting my mental health in a better state.
And if everybody's aware that we do have a gut brain, which also works out, how we participate in this world as well. So it's really important to look after our gut health. Deb, One of the main things that I know about you is that you've had to learn about self-love and boundaries. How do you bring boundaries into your life, and how did that help you over the last 16 years and going forward, do you think?
Yeah, thanks. It's a great question, Nicole. And I think it's an ongoing challenge for many people. For me, I feel like the last 3 to 4 years of my life I've spent, I think it's important for us all to have coaches in our life. And I have many. So having mentors, and when you work alone and you're in your own business, it's important to have, business coaches, but also health coaches, advisors, and use them often and ask the questions that are really tough, because they're the people that are going to help you through those journeys. And they help you set the boundaries that are right for you, because we're all different and we're all different individuals, and our journey is different. And what happens through our journey is different as well. So that all impacts how it affects our boundaries as well. And as we grow and those boundaries change, we can then adapt as well, and feel a little bit more open and a bit more trusting and feel into those spaces. I feel that's how I feel anyway.
Yeah. So what are the boundaries that you create in your life, whether it be business or life, that could help somebody watching that's like, okay, I know that I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, I'm not at a place that I need to be, and they actually feel, I guess, for the best explanation, that their head's full and they can't possibly take any more? What would be a boundary that you would, or a habit that you would share with somebody to take in?
Yeah, it's taken me a long time to understand this, because I spent a lot of my time being over busy, and then my adrenals would fail, and then I'd just be on a constant spiral of then getting well again and then falling in a heap again. So I've learnt in the last probably 2 to 3 years that I feel like this is a bit of a superpower, to tell you the truth, that when I'm actually I'm going to be busy, whether I'm about to launch a new product or something different with my business, or I'm really wanting to do something with my website, and I know I'm going to be really busy with people or whatever the challenge is going to be, I actually look at my after program before my before program. So
That means,
so for instance, this week I had a beautiful week of 3 days of photo shoots and aligning my business and getting some marketing strategies done for the next journey, which is winter spring coming up. And so I knew that was going to be really challenging for me. There was like 22 people, on site, and there was a photographer and lots of other things going on, and lots of sets to set up, busy. And also I'm running the business behind that as well. So it's quite a busy time. So I have just aligned myself today to do this lovely challenge with you, and but also a lot of self-care for the next couple of days. So I just managed that 3 days of work when I'm really busy like that, and 2 days downtime. That means I can actually work more productive, because in the past I was just manic, and I would then have to have a week or 10 days off. So managing my time and my schedule and my manic behavior sometimes is challenging, but understanding who we are as people and how we operate, then we need to, the most important thing is to understand who we are. And then we can understand how we can help ourselves. So I feel like for me, it's making sure that when I'm going to have those really big periods of time in the week where I'm really busy, that I do understand that I need to have a couple of days downtime.
Yeah. So that is really about forethought and knowing what you get. So something big's coming up, also plan the after first, so you're well aware of how you're going to spend time to, downtime and relax and enjoy what you've just done as well, and be able to be grateful for the 3 days you've just had.
Absolutely. And I think it's really great to have that reflection time. If we just keep moving forward all the time and never sit and reflect, we actually forget about the gratefulness. And we then sit in that space of, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so busy, I'm always busy. But actually taking the time to enjoy those moments and go and reflect on it and go, it actually brings a lot of joy to your life, but also makes you feel present, and yeah, and I think that less stressed. And for me, it'll be a lot of meditation for the next couple of days, massage, and just caring for myself.
Do you think that we are so busy being busy that we really do forget to take that time to be grateful and to be in the present?
Well, for me, I think I can't talk about everybody, but generally what I see out in the world, I feel like that is what is happening in the world. I think we all are so busy. And for me, I'm trying to slow myself down because I have been in that space of being too busy. And also what's really funny about that is that sometimes we create being busy as well, because sometimes it's easier for us to hide in that busyness and not deal with our life. So actually, I do believe that having mentors, if you are a creative person who loves being busy, sometimes it's good to step outside your business and do something else creative that's not about being busy with your work. And that will give you a different downtime as well.
And I think that's a really important thing that we have to, as business women, be aware of, that we're not being busy doesn't mean that we're being more productive either, Deb. I think that
I agree.
I think that many women think then they have a financial goal, and if they commit to that financial goal, the only way they're going to get there is to be busy, where it's often the opposite, that if you're not looking after yourself, you're not filling your own cup, you're not actually going to have the momentum to get to the end line, to that goal. Or and if you do get to that goal, how are you going to be feeling to actually celebrate it or enjoy it?
Absolutely. That is absolutely where I think it's an ongoing battle for women who work from home. And it's great. We have lots of we can actually spend time at home doing other things, but I do believe that it can be a source of trying to be too busy as well. Do you know what I mean? And so outsourcing to others is something that I really like to do. And also just knowing who you are. I think it's really important to have these life coaches, mentors that you can go to and ask these questions.
Deb, you're trained as well in helping people, so you are actually able to help people. And I know for a lot of people in business, they're out there at home, and a lot of people around them expect them to still be able to hold, juggle every ball, be a mum, keep the house clean, run and do school pickups, do the books, do everything. Is it possible that we can do everything all the time, and do we underplay that we're being business women at home, that we still need to do everything?
I definitely don't think we need to do everything. I think if you want to be a businesswoman these days, then you must outsource to others. And we are a community of women who definitely want to support each other. It happened to me this week. I put a photo shoot out there. I'm a small business, and I asked a lot of creative women to come and support me. And I would provide a lunch, and 22 women turned up to do that and support me. So I think reaching out to your community and the people around you and asking for support, whether it is picking up the kids one day a week so you don't have to do it, or maybe getting a house cleaner in, or whatever it's going to be to support you on your journey, I think it's essential.
And that you bring up a really good point there. A lot of people think they need to outsource to a VA first. Personally, my first outsourcing was to a house cleaner because I don't have time.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And look, there's women in my community I'm meeting now that actually you can get meals prepped for the week. I mean, I know these things are expensive, but then it saves time for you going shopping and other things. And if you're running and your business is going well, then I think these are really good opportunities to get a few meals done for the week, get some shopping done, delivered. Yeah, I think these are really great ideas.
And some of this stuff, a little like to get your groceries delivered isn't an additional expense, because I know most of us would spend the limit on the free delivery every week. So, I mean, that's a really great tip that really any of us can bring into our business to stop that overwhelm and give us time that we could just sit there and do a meditation, listen to a podcast, whatever brings us joy. It's a really good thing to take that time instead of going to do the shopping.
Yeah, I agree. I think that sometimes we think we're time poor and we have to get the shopping done. We've got to create beautiful, healthy meals for our children and all these things. And sometimes actually just sitting on if you've got a day off, creating the space to set up an online shopping, and then you just got to click a button and add to it on a weekly basis or a fortnightly basis, whenever it is going to save you hours.
Yeah. Deb, the other thing I'd like to, and I hope it's okay, you and I both have supportive partners in our business. And I know there's a lot of people out there, women, when they're starting a business, don't feel supported by their partner, or their partner doesn't understand what they're doing. What would your advice be to help to share your business with your partner, to bring them in so they don't feel like it's your business against them? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess for me, I've always had a supportive partner, someone who's ambitious himself and always wanted me to stand tall in my own space. And now he's joined me in my business as well and doing bits and pieces as well, which is wonderful. But I know what you're saying here is, if you don't have that support, then it's very difficult, because I think managing those conversations is also draining. Do you know what I mean? Trying to support yourself, but also explain what you're doing. And I think I can't really, it's hard for me to I guess assess that, because I've always had an amazing partner who's supported my every need in that regard.
Do you think that's because for me, it's because I've always had that relationship with Mari, that I've been able to, and I open up and say, this is what I need right now. About being very like, and I think it's an important thing for us to own as women, to say, this is what I need. I've got all these balls in the air. I need this in our relationship. I'm doing this, and I would love you to be a part of it, or there's nothing you can do to help me, but this is what I need. What do you think about that?
I think sometimes in relationships, men can feel threatened when their wife is, her business is starting. And I think it is a thing where we can ask their advice. I mean, most of our husbands have been in business, whatever they're doing, for a longer period than us. Especially at my age, at 57, he's been working and I was the homemaker for a long period of time. Asking advice, I think it helps them understand what you need, but also what they can give you a good advice on what their business is about and how they've done things. So I think don't accept that you know everything, and take advice and take criticism. I think one of the biggest things that us women, we think we know it all, and most of us do. But I think also just asking, and also asking their needs as well. If the timing's right, if we could have a meeting about this, what are your thoughts on it, and bringing it up at a conversation that feels comfortable.
Yeah. Because I think they are, and are more supportive in life. We've chosen to live our life with them. And I think saying, hey, I need you, actually gives them confidence that they still have a part in what we're doing.
I agree. I think absolutely asking what they need, and I need your support. And that might just mean, would you be able to cook a meal this week for me? Would you be able to help me out, do the shopping this week for me? Because I'm now working as well, and I really want to support this family. So there's ways that we can do that. And sometimes we get overwhelmed and we think we have to do it all. But I think our husbands are really quite amazing, and they'll be really willing to help out.
Deb, how important is for you to be a role model?
That's a leading question, isn't it? I think for me, the most important thing is a role model to my children. Probably not to anyone else, but I want, I've always, for me, it's, you know, if they see me working and doing well and supporting other people and being generous and grateful and also being a mum to them and stopping what I'm doing and being a mum, then they see that mum's doing okay, and they see that they can do it all as well, and they see that I outsource, and they see what I do, and you know, I see both my children being quite successful because they watch what I do, and also we have a lot of great family time as well, and a lot of laughs and a lot of fun, and we make mistakes and it's okay, and we talk about them. And do you know what I mean? And
I think that's an important part of being a role model, isn't it? To make the mistakes and laugh about them.
Yeah, and we encourage each other, but we cry and we laugh and we do all the things that we should be doing, because that's what a normal life is that no one can be successful on their own. So it takes a whole lot of people, it takes a whole family, but a community as well to support each other.
Before we sign up, I'd love to talk about your business because of what it represents. Would you like to share with us what the Summer House represents?
Okay. The Summer House for me represents my journey in life. When I came across the Summer House, I had been in another successful business, and I was getting out of that business, and I needed to rebuild myself again. And so when I came across the Summer House, it was actually, we thought we would, it was a demolition house. It was basically on half an acre to be demolished, and it was going to be bought for land value, and we were going to originally build 3 units on it. Well, that was the plan. And when I arrived, and this is my spiritual journey as well, I have an affinity with the butterfly, and there was, I would literally say, 1 million butterflies around this house. In fact, there was a butterfly stamped on the door as well. And my husband looked at me and I looked at him, and he just said, oh my God, what? It was magical. We went inside the house, and surely it did need a lot of work, but we both had a feeling. There was a feeling. And I guess it's the first time in our life where we really both of us stepped into our intuition, and we just knew that this was going to be something amazing. And we weren't even quite sure what it was. So we took a leap of faith. And it was very challenging. There was a lot of tears. I didn't really know what I was doing. I'd never rebuilt a house. I'd never done any of this before in my life, but I had run accommodation and I had run retreats before.
So I did reference. Yeah. This is the oldest house in Janja?
The second oldest house.
The second oldest house. And yeah, so we're not talking about like a young house to renovate.
No, this original house. Yeah, the house was originally built in 1937, and it had 5 owners prior to us coming along, and it was in a pretty shabby state. But so
what does the Summer House do though? Like, this is the magic of this house embodies your journey over the last 16 years, I think. What does it do? Like, share the magic of what the Summer House actually does.
Yeah, it's really hard, but I guess the magic for me was when I started remodeling and rebuilding. I felt I was being rebuilt as well. That whole energy of what was happening within the house and within me, I feel is embodied in that house. And now it's a feeling when you walk in. And I can only say that everybody who walks into that house feels the same feeling. I've even just got shivers on myself then. It is an amazing property, and I think I've had about 20 offers to buy the house, and nobody wants to leave when they arrive. It's a magical home. And it's, I guess for me, it should be shared. And so I'm really pleased that we've brought it back to life, and lots of women and men now get to go there, and it's definitely a healing house. There's a feeling of healing in the home. And yeah, I can only say that I feel very grateful, very privileged, and I feel like it's just an amazing journey.
So the magic of the house, what happens in the house? So obviously it's a home and everything like that. What is a home? What is your home or some home or house used for?
Okay, so the summer house is used for retreats, and we bring people going on a journey. So it can be just a girls' weekend and wanting to have some pampering and a chef come in, or more likely it's going to be being outsourced to a facilitator who wants to bring in a wellness journey. So, for instance, we have this weekend a lovely lady from Torquay who's a naturopath, and she will be bringing her group of women. And yeah, there will be a women's circle. There will be beautiful, nourishing foods. There will be an amazing chef on site. There will be a lot of healing going on. So most of the healing will be done in our studio, our beautiful studio, but a lot of what I feel is the healing comes around the dining table. So at the end of the day, we sit. We always sit around the dining table, and sharing food and stories. And I feel stories is what heals many of us women.
So Deb, if people want to see and look, this space is a magical space, and the best word for me to describe it to you is zen. That you walk in there and it's a space of peace, and you feel like you're where you're meant to be. Like it really is a place that you're able to feel in the present and be mindful. And the array of facilitators that actually use the retreat space are amazing. So if people want to follow you, Deb, if they're interested in running the retreat with you at the Summer House, or they would like to participate in the retreat, how can they follow you?
Yeah, they can follow me many ways. So basically they can go to my website, which is www.thesummerhousetorquay.com.au. Our Facebook site, which is the Summer House Torquay. So there's clearly a need for women that want to go on retreats and want to learn more.
So in the description, I will tag Deb's page in there to follow. Deb is also available for speaking opportunities to speak about her journey and inspire you to connect and communicate with those around you, and her resilience as well. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. It was beautiful. Thank you, Nicole.
It's been a privilege to have you, and please reach out to Deb and find out if you like to have the conversation with Deb about running a retreat or attending one of her retreats, because it is just a divine treat for yourself. So thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you in the next session.
Thank you, Nicole.
Bye.